seen it time and time again. I've got a job seeker who is beyond frustrated because they've applied to so many jobs. They've applied to literally hundreds of jobs and they've gotten no bites. I once met with a client who applied for 755 jobs, and he brought me a spreadsheet to show me. And it was as if he was blaming it on the universe. And like I told him, and what I'm going to share today is that chances are when you're applying indiscriminately, when you're applying to every single job that's out there and you think, oh, I could do that, what that means is you're not doing a targeted search. And so today we're going to talk about applying strategically through a targeted job search. So this approach involves tailoring your applications to specific positions that align with who you are, your skills, and what's important to you. Also, those positions align with your experiences and your career goals rather than just applying to anything that comes across your path. So if this sounds familiar to you, stick around and I'll talk you through how to apply strategically through a targeted job search so that you can land interviews and eventually job offers. Hi, welcome to Authentic Career and Life Design. This is the place where we talk about all things career, including job search, resume writing and cover letters, career transitions, and academic pursuits. I'm Lori, your host, and I've dedicated my career to helping individuals just like you navigate the complex world of career choices with clarity, confidence, and authenticity. Today we're covering apply strategically with a targeted search. This is step 7 in our series, Mastering Your Job Search in 10 Essential Steps. Over the past 6 weeks, we've covered define your path, research your career field, crafting your resume, networking effectively, seeking expert guidance, and finding position openings. Woo, that's a lot. You can find those posts and episodes and all of the steps along with an overview of all 10 steps at authentic-careers.com. Have you ever found yourself stuck in an endless, frustrating cycle of applying for countless jobs and never hearing back? You're not alone. This is a common tale that I've heard throughout my whole career far too often. But here's the thing. It's not about the quantity of your applications or your resumes. It's about the quality and strategy behind each one. Are you ready to apply strategically for a targeted job search? I am. If you're with me, let's get the show on the road. Welcome back. So the first question I want to ask you is, what are you seeking in your next position? Do you know? We talked about this in episode 1. You can go back at any time. But having a specific career goal is really the key to a strategic job search. Getting somewhere is much easier when we know where we're going. You've heard that quote time and time again, some iteration of it. All right, so if you're starting a job search, don't skip this step. Start with the post, step 1, define your path, which takes you through the process of developing a specific career goal for your search. So I want you to do that first. Even stop this video and do that. But come back, please. So back to what we're talking about in this episode, which is quality over quantity, all right? So instead of casting a really wide net and applying to anything that comes across your path, any job in sight, I want you to focus on positions that align closely with your skills, experience, and career goals. Years ago, I did a talk. I don't know if you remember that Pachachka. I think that's how it looked, like Piku Chiku, sort of pre-TED Talks. I did one on the job searches like dating. And one of the reasons they're the same is that sort of all take anything approach. It really never works. I remember once when I was single, someone said to me, "Oh, I've got this person I'd love for you to meet." And I said, "Oh, great. Tell me about them." And they had nothing to say. They were just saying, well, they're single. Right? And so I had higher standards than that. And so should you in your job search and in your love life, I guess, too. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually walk you through how to do a targeted job search by sharing my screen here. And we're going to go through the whole thing. So Submitting a targeted application means that you will tailor all of your materials, including your resume and cover letter, to highlight those relevant skills and experiences for each application. So I'm going to share a detailed step-by-step process for how to do this. And once you complete a few applications, it gets a little bit easier. You'll be able to cut and paste things that you've done for previous ones. You'll develop a process and the language so that it won't be as hard as it will for your probably one or two first ones. Okay, so who's ready? Stick around. Here we go. Okay, so before we get started, this is a really important step. And I think that those of you probably over 30 know this, but those of you under 30, if you're used to doing things through a Google Drive, you may not know this. So I'm going to talk about and spend some time talking about step one, which is organizing your job search by creating electronic files. So I recommend that you do this to keep everything organized. Don't just keep it generally hanging out in your Google Drive, but go ahead and create a Google Drive. In my drive, or you can do this in a file folder if you want, that I have down here. Ooh, I got all kinds of pictures down there. But if you're used to a Google Drive or opening a new folder, so what I've done is I've created a folder called job search, and within those I've created these master folders, and this is how you can keep things organized. So you see here, and in the blog post, corresponding blog post, I've also created the categories, so you can see the categories that I recommend. So the first one is your master resume. This is where you're going to have obviously your master resume, but then you might have different iterations of it. Let's say you're applying to maybe 3 different kinds of jobs, or jobs in different areas, in different industries. And so you might have different things arranged differently. So you'll keep all of those in here, and that's what you call them. Then you have a cover letter, same thing. Keep all of your cover letters, master cover letters here. You want to have a list of references or even letters of recommendations that you may have on file. You'll keep those here. I did a master thank you, and that's just easy for you to copy and paste after a following up with any conversation or correspondence you might have. And then I've got a couple others here that I'm going to go ahead and do with you, just so you can see how it works. So in Google, I just go to new and I go to new folder. It brings this up, and I think I'm at original work samples. So this is if you're looking at any kind of career that requires you to provide your work. Maybe you've done some research, maybe you've done some creative work, graphic design, or maybe you've done some writing. So anything that requires that, you'll want to keep in there, and it's a great place for you to have that. The next one I'm going to do is, what do I have? Academic transcripts. So I'm going to call this official, academic transcripts. So if you don't have those, go ahead and get them. Contact your schools and ask for them so you have them. You may not need them right away, but having them is really important, and I promise you, you will need them in the future. And then the last one I have here is official certifications. So this is if you completed any additional coursework or you have certifications. I'm going through a training in a couple weeks where I'll get an additional certification in the work they do around life design. And so I would keep those in that area, and that way I'd already know where they are. So the next thing I want to do now, I have all my originals here, and now I want to create one for a job title that I'm going to apply for. So we're going to apply for a job title today. I actually haven't picked one that we're going to do. So I'm going to come back to that. I'm just going to make that untitled folder right now. There it is. And we're going to go ahead and start this. Okay, so first step, organizing your job search materials. All right, I'm going to walk you through, I believe this is step 2. So step 2 is that I want you to find one job opening that appeals to you and aligns with your career goal. So I do have a post on finding job openings, and that's actually what I have pulled up here, my post on that. And what this does is I've got a section here on all kinds of links to industry specific job openings. So we're going to go ahead and find one here. I'm just going to find one that sounds interesting that I think I might appeal to quite a few people. So we're going to go to environmentalcareer.com here. And this gives me green jobs, and we'll just see what comes up. I'm just going to do general. So there's 303 jobs posted here. And so I have Mississippi State Director. I'm going to pull that up here. And this is with the Nature Conservancy. Okay. So I've got one job opening here. And what I want you to do is I want you to either print a copy of this job description or copy and paste it so you can mark it up. So this is what I typically do, exactly what I'm doing now. I've got a job description here, got lots of stuff on it, what they're looking for, qualifications, salary information, and what they bring. So what I recommend that you do is you just copy this whole thing, which is what I'm doing right here. I'm copying the whole thing using my mouse, and that tells us all about her. So what can we do together? This looks like most of it. So I'm copying it, which is Control C is the shortcut that I use. And now what I'm going to do is go over to my job search folder here. And this is my untitled folder, but now I'm going to title it in a second. But I'm going to create a new Google Doc. Again, if you're used to Microsoft, which is what I'm used to, you can do this in a Word document. It's totally up to you. And now I'm just going to paste, which is Control C. I'm sorry, Control V is paste. Actually, what I like to do is right click and do paste without formatting. So that now it gives it to me in the way I like to see it. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. So now we have the job. So the next step in this is just step 3 is reviewing the job description and highlighting all of the key skills, experiences, responsibilities, and requirements and qualifications for this job that I possess. So right now I'm going to put on a different hat, pretend I am some sort of environmental scientist or research person, and I'm really interested in this. So this is all pretend for me, but we're going to go through here, and I'm literally going to read through this so I can see here what they're looking for. So this person is a strategist for this operating unit that is accountable for their success. So da 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 da. I can see what they do. So when I see a couple things here, I'm just going to go to my highlight color, ensure outcomes. Right here, I guess I'll do it this way. Contribute to the intellectual, financial, and or human resources. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. I think in Word you can do this all together. That's fine. Support alignment of activities, resources. Okay, that's quite a bit, but that's okay. And they're responsible for collaborating with others. That's good. I know I'm a good collaborator. Okay, and they serve in the primary local spokesperson. That's good. So I have some experience speaking, doing a little PR stuff, including staff. All of these people, quite a bit. So maybe if it's just part of it, but not all, I'm going to do staff, volunteers, and board and public and private donors. I've done that. But you know what? I've never spoken to government agencies, so I'm not going to mark that. But community leaders. Okay, so those are all the things that I've done that they want. I oversee fundraising and marketing. So let's say, oh, I haven't done a ton of fundraising, but I have done marketing. So we'll come back to that. Approving budgets, setting priorities, philanthropy and resources and external staff. So that's good. They're responsible for a significant portion of fundraising. All right, so we know that. Now, a couple things. Now, maybe you're going through this thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm interested in. So great. Isn't that great? Now we know we probably aren't going to apply for it, but I'm going to pretend now that I cannot wait to do fundraising for the state, all right, and the environmental pieces. So you see what I'm going to do, and I'm going to actually pause this recording because I don't want you to watch me read this. But I'm going to pause my recording, and when I come back, I will show you what I've done. All right, let's pick this up again. Here is my document, and you see that I've got quite a bit of it highlighted. They have preferred and desired qualifications. So my pretend person that I am today, this looks generally like a good fit. So now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I need to name this. So this is State Director and Mississippi Operating Unit. Sorry that my other stuff is coming up, but I don't know how to shut it off right now. So we've got that. So now this is saved. Is that actually, I'm going to copy and save that back. And I'm going to go back to my drive. Whoops. I'm going to go back to my drive where I have untitled folder, and I'm going to rename that so I have this job actually in here so I know what job this is. So now within that job description, I have the job description here, which is here. So the next step is for me to now, I'm on step 4. So open up my resume that I have that's saved in my drive under master resume. And then make sure my master resume has all of these same things. And if they're not, I'm going to think about how I can use these exact same words that are listed on the job description on my resume. Okay, welcome back. So I had to do a little bit of work and pull together a resume that actually fit this job description because I thought it would be more helpful and make more sense for you. So I have created this fake persona, Laura Luhu, and Laura is interested in conservation. I've actually named this my conservation resume, and you will see here that it's in this job. I'm sorry, I put it in my master resume. There it is, in my master resume folder. So that's where it is. So when I look now at my resume, what I'm going to do is compare my resume, and I'm going to actually compare this job description. I'm going to do I'm going to do a split screen here. So now you can see, here's the job description and here's my resume. And so I can go through and look and make sure each of these things is listed well on here. Okay, we're back. So we did a lot there. We went through several steps, and one thing I want to tell you is that my work with Authentic Career and Life Design, I do have a resume and cover letter writing package, and it includes 2 sessions, 2 50-minute appointments, 50. And I give you expert guidance on resume, cover letter. I help you create one and write a customizable resume and cover letter template for future use. So if that's something that you're just thinking, I can't do this, I need help, feel free to contact me and I'd be happy to work with you. The next step in this is writing a customized cover letter. And this is very similar to what I just showed you with the resume. This is where you really pull out those pieces that are not only on your resume, but the pieces that you really want to highlight, and you maybe give some more context to it. So for your resume, you want to have an opening paragraph, and the opening paragraph basically tells you why you're interested in the position. So again, pull up the job description, find the organization's mission. If it's not on the job description, look them up, find their mission, note what you truly like about it, and come up with a sentence or two that works with that. That's a great way to talk about why you're interested in a position in a cover letter. Next, in a cover letter, you want to have an introduction that includes the things that I talk about in an elevator pitch. Where are you now? Where have you been? Where you're going? Those 3 things. right? So it might be something like, currently I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm interested in, I've had an opportunity to grow and develop my leadership, my accounting, my finance, my budgeting, whatever skills. Now I'm looking for my next step in, right? So pretty easy, a couple sentences. Where are you now? Where have you been? Where are you going? And just like we talk about on your resume, you want to highlight those skills. So maybe you pick three skills or experiences that you want to talk about and write those in your cover letter and refer to your resume. So you might want to even address how they're connected. I've done this in the past, and I've had people do it where they have a column that has the top 5 skills that they're seeking, and then in the next column across from that, you demonstrate that experience. And it's a nice, easy way to lay out why your skills and experience fit the position. So we're to our final step, which is basically the part that most people complain about. Even though you've most likely simply just created a resume that fits exactly with this position. You've created a cover letter. You've spent probably about an hour, maybe 2 hours on this. And now guess what? You've uploaded it into the system, and then they ask you to fill out an application. And the application, I don't know why, but it mimics your resume. So the good part about this is you can literally copy and paste the sections that you've just developed for your resume. And you can double check your information to make sure it's accurate before submitting, but copying and pasting. So that's the final step. Then push the apply button and wait to see what happens. Sometimes you get a message back right away. You'll most likely get an automatic message and then telling you a timeline, maybe a couple days. So those are the steps to applying strategically for a targeted search. I'm not going to lie, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. So it takes much more time than simply applying and just turning in your LinkedIn application. Sometimes they say apply with LinkedIn, and they just pull everything on your LinkedIn in. You can do that, but you're not going to be doing a targeted search when you do that. So this will increase your chances of getting calls for interviews when you do this customization. So remember at the beginning when I talked about people who apply, and they hear nothing? This could be the game-changing step for you to take time, customize, get things that are exactly connected to the positions that you're applying for. All right. So I'll be right back, and we've got some more information for you. So welcome back. We're just going to do some parting thoughts here, which is in this episode of Authentic Career and Life Design, we tackled step 7 in our series, apply strategically with a targeted job search. So as we conclude today's episode, I want you to remember that mastering your job search is a journey of self-discovery and perseverance. Applying strategically not only saves you time in the long run, I promise, time and energy and frustration, it also increases your chance of success. So instead of feeling disheartened by the lack of responses, focus on making each application count. So by investing quality over quantity, you'll not only boost your chances of landing interviews, but also preserve your confidence. Really, that's what it's about, and motivation throughout your job search. So join us next time on Authentic Career and Life Design as we explore the next essential step in creating a fulfilling career path. Until then, stay motivated, stay authentic, and keep pursuing your dreams. Thanks for tuning in to Authentic Career and Life Design. I don't want you to miss out on upcoming episodes, so please subscribe to this podcast or YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to the blog at authentic-careers.com or contact me at laura@authentic-careers.com. If you found this episode helpful, please leave me a review and share it with someone. If you want to work with me, start with a free discovery call, 15-minute discovery call, and we can sit down and kind of talk about what might be a good fit and next steps for you. You can do that at authentic-careers.com/discovery. And I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.